Cartoons, the animated frontier. These are the voyages of the Cellcast podcast. Its continuing mission to explore strange new cartoons, to seek out new animation styles and new creative storytelling methods, to boldly go where so few ever go again.
Am I wrong? Okay. This podcast is a part of Christian Reek Central Network. Wrong.
Hey, Scoop, what are you doing, man?
I don't know. Must be reading an ad.
All right, hold on. Give me it.
Okay.
All right. This podcast is part of the Christian Geek Central Network at ChristianGeekCentral.com.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cellcast,
The animated series.
Joining me today is a man whose invention just blew up in his face, Jacob.
Why, thank you. I still can't get the smoke out of underneath my nose. Either way.
It's what you get for using essential oils instead of regular grease to grease the thing.
You live and learn. Why, thank you. I'd like to introduce our co-host, a man who's simply just trying to impress a girl. Welcome, Drew.
How are you doing today, Jacob?
Man, I'm doing very well.
All right, so today we are, of course, reviewing Tangled The Series, Season 1, Episode 8, Great Expo-tations, which first aired on July 30th, 2017. It was directed by Joe O. and was written by Ricky Roxburgh, and it features the return of Jeremy Jordan as Varian. Going into the summary for this one, a science exposition is held in Corona, and Cassandra has a chance to be on guard duty, but she must finish her lady-in-waiting obligations first. Varian makes a deal with Cassandra that he will help her finish her chores if she agrees to assist him in his demonstration. However, Cassandra accepts the assignment to guard the famous scientist who is judging the contest and thus unavailable to help. When things go wrong, though, she chooses her friend over duty. Meanwhile, Rapunzel tries to make an entry for the science fair. Varian shows Cassandra and Rapunzel the strange black rocks outside the village, much like the ones that made Rapunzel's hair grow back. Varian decides to help Rapunzel and Cassandra in discovering the mystery of these rocks and the connection between them and the newfound magical abilities of Rapunzel's regrown hair. Trivia for this episode: Fernanda Pizzazzo, the one who actually wins the science fair.
Yeah.
She resembles a fortune teller character that was present in early concepts of Tangled.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And, of course, the episode name is a play on the name of the book, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens.
Mm-hmm.
And in this episode, Eugene references the events of What the Hare.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah. Also, there was a goof in this episode.
Really? Where was it?
When Pascal picks up the top of the sliced carrot after Rapunzel cuts it with the safety slicer, the safety slicer suddenly has two blades, and there are extra green leaves from the carrot.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a bit of an animation error.
Yeah.
Nothing serious.
Nothing bad.
Of course, remember her safety slicer is a guillotine.
There again, people, she's been locked up in a tower for 18 years.
Well, at the same time, we do use a guillotine cutter where I work to slice paper.
Yeah, that's true.
So it does do the job. Anyway, what do you think of this episode?
I enjoy the episode. The fact that you get Variant who has either he's got the hot spore or he's got a puppy dog crush on Cassandra, which is it's okay, Variant, be like, you don't want to mess this up because she could bob you away in 3,000 ways.
Yeah.
But
although she does seem, once she realizes what's going on, she does at least feel touched.
Yeah, she does.
That being said, Varian needs to stop naming new elements after his friends because every time he does this, it blows up in his face.
In a way, like quite literally in some ways. It's an enjoyable episode. It's building character relationships and character connections. And at the same time, it's Rapunzel be like, oh, this sounds like fun. This sounds like fun. I want to do something creative because she's a creative person or creative character. And she starts to be like, I've invented this. Be like, and she's still learning, like, all this stuff's already been invented.
Yeah.
And she comes up with the automatic hair dryer of all things.
Yeah. And it requires a horse.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
it's got Max power.
Max will always be there to give her a hand.
Yeah, or a
hoof.
But it's a good.
At the same time, they found this fan somewhere in the last 8 hours, so it's not like it's completely new invention.
No, but the
plus, I don't think they heated the air at all.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's just built by centrifugal force, and it's like you can generate heat with enough.
But not with a fan like that. Because I'm
thinking more like a wind turbine.
Most of the fans I've been around that are that size.
Yeah,
they don't produce heat except by the motor.
Yeah,
and this is not using an electric motor, so there's not much heat. The only one getting hot is Max.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But hey, it was something. It was creative.
I have seen worse.
Yeah,
in this episode.
But in general, it's a great story. We get character connections. We get more of Rapunzel's creativity because, and it's like, okay, I've created this, and it's like, okay, it's already been invented, like I said before. But it's still funny. It's still funny to be like, and of course you have to throw in Pascal because you have to give Pascal something to do.
Yeah,
even it's be like, oh, he's there, but everybody likes Pascal.
He is like the fun character in the movie because on the show he can't speak, of course, but they give him so much fun stuff to do.
They do, and it's a all around very well executed film episode. Yeah, it's a very well executed show that it's starting to bring all the characters into almost an alignment to what's going to happen later on.
And we finally start moving towards some of the mysteries of what's going up.
Yeah.
They actually know the rocks are starting to encroach on them, so that's at least some development.
Yeah, we're slowly getting there. We're slowly starting to understand more about the world, and because I think if you take other animated series, they really don't go into that big of a depth into the background of the lore, and this show is full of it. Not full of it, but full of the mysteries and wonders of this world, what's going on. And we get into that more. We get into the end of season 1, season 2, and into season 3. But overall, it's a great episode. And that's my thoughts.
So that brings us to the end of another episode. Join us next time when we review episode 9, Under Wraps. That's RAPS, as in short for Rapunzel, not wraps as in a sandwich made out of tortilla. Anyway. Come, Jacob. We must prepare for next week.
Prepare for what, Drew?
The same thing we do every week, Jacob. Record a podcast.
Oh, boy.
So where can they find you, Jacob?
You can find me on Facebook at Jacob B. Heron. Also on Facebook at Jacob's Daily Art Corner, where I try to draw each and every day. I don't get to it as often as I like, but join me there. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Jacob B. Heron. On Twitter at Jacob Heron, and Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. So where can they find you, Drew?
You can also follow me on Letterboxd at GGeorge759, Facebook as Drew Dodgen, my Facebook page where you can see pictures I've taken at Drew's Photo Bin. You can also follow me on Twitter at GGeorge759.
You can email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter at cast_cell.
You can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/thecellcastgaming.
You can also follow us on YouTube at Cellcast.
Listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts,
Google Play Podcasts,
Stitcher,
Spotify,
and your favorite podcast directory.
You can also listen to us on the Movie of the Week podcast with Jim Heron, where we talk about live-action movies. And remember, Cell is a single L.